Long ago, in the quiet lands of ancient Greece, when gods whispered in the wind and fate was etched in starlight, there lived a woman whose beauty was said to be a gift from Olympus itself. Her name was Helen. Born to Queen Leda and, as legend tells us, to Zeus, who took the form of a magnificent swan, Helen entered the world not with a cry, but with silence. Some say she hatched from a glowing egg, placed gently upon the earth by divine hands. Even as a child, Helen was different. Wherever she walked, silence followed. Not empty silence, but a reverent pause. Birds grew still. Conversations faded. Grown warriors fell quiet in her presence. It wasn't just beauty. It was something older, something sacred. Some called it grace. Others called it a curse. She didn't speak often, and when she did, her voice felt like wind through olive trees, gentle, distant, unforgettable. As she bloomed into womanhood, her fame spread like fire on dry leaves. Kings, warlords, and princes crossed oceans just to catch a glimpse of her. They offered crowns, gold, kingdoms, and glory, all for a chance to claim her hand. But her stepfather, the wise king Tyndareus of Sparta, feared bloodshed, so he devised a clever oath. Every suitor must swear that, no matter who Helen chose, they would honor the choice and defend it with their lives if ever it were challenged. Bound by pride and the eyes of gods, they agreed. And Helen, with the same silence she was born into, chose Menelaus, king of Sparta, brother to Agamemnon. He was strong, proud, and rich. Whether Helen loved him, no one could say. She never told. But for a time, there was peace. Until the gods stirred again. Far away on the slopes of Mount Ida, Paris, the young prince of Troy, stood before three goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. They demanded he choose the fairest among them. Each offered a bribe: power, wisdom, victory. But Aphrodite offered something more dangerous: the love of the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris handed her the golden apple and sealed the fate of nations. He sailed for Sparta under a flag of diplomacy, a guest in Menelaus's court. There he saw Helen, and she saw him. What passed between them, none can say. Was it love at first sight, or the will of the gods? Did Helen go with Paris of her own heart, or was she taken by trickery and spell? The bards disagree. The poets argue, but history records one truth. Helen disappeared, gone from her husband's halls, gone across the Aegean, gone to Troy. When Menelaus discovered her absence, his grief turned quickly to fury. He invoked the oath, and the greatest kings of Greece answered: Odysseus of Ithaca, Nestor, Ajax, Diomedes, and Achilles, the golden warrior destined to burn bright and die young. They raised 1,000 ships, a forest of sails on the horizon. They sailed not only for Helen, but for honor, for vengeance, for immortality. Thus began the greatest war the world had ever known. 10 long years, 10 years of blood and fire, 10 years where gods fought beside mortals and heroes became legends. Achilles raged across the battlefield like a storm. Hector, noble prince of Troy, stood unbroken until his final breath. And Helen? She watched from the high towers of Troy, unharmed, unmoving, a silent figure surrounded by chaos. Some say she wept each night. Others claim she danced in golden halls with Paris, unbothered by the war that raged for her sake. But always, she remained silent. She became not a woman, but a myth, a symbol, a curse. The war raged on until the Greeks grew desperate. Then came Odysseus's plan. A gift, a wooden horse, left at Troy's gates as a sign of surrender. The Trojans rejoiced, unaware of the soldiers hidden within. That night, while the city slept, fire and steel rained down. Troy burned. Screams echoed. Statues crumbled. A civilization fell. And in the center of it all stood Helen. Menelaus found her in the palace, untouched by flame or blade. He raised his sword, ready to strike down the cause of it all. But then she looked at him. Just a look, nothing more. And the sword fell from his hand. No rage, no punishment, just a quiet reunion beneath a sky full of smoke. Helen returned to Sparta, crowned once more, but changed. She walked halls lined with whispers. She ruled among people who revered and feared her. She bore no scars, only silence. The poets tried to explain her. The painters tried to capture her, but no one truly understood her. Because Helen never explained. She never confessed. She never defended. She endured. Was she a pawn in a divine game? A queen who followed her heart? A goddess cloaked in mortal skin? Or simply a woman, caught between love and legacy? We may never know, but one truth endures, carried like wind across time. The world never forgot her name, Helen. The face that launched 1,000 ships, the silence that shattered 1,000 hearts. Still beautiful, still mysterious, still